giving sexual harassment violation at work, okay? Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Bookish Musings. By the time I upload this video, I would have hopefully changed my name, aka Dee's Reading Lounge. So if you are new here, let me know what's your favorite book. Put it down below. I hope you will subscribe down below. I would love to have you here and hear more from you. All right, so enough of the housekeeping. This is going to be the start of a new vlog. Not only do I read books, but I also share a little bit of my life as well. I'm also on a health journey, so I incorporate that as well. So right now I am waiting for my sister. We are returning a van that we rented because both of my parents they're in wheelchairs, so we rented that. I'm waiting for her to arrive here to drop the van off, and then she'll be getting in the car with me. But she hadn't made it here yet, and I just saw all this, y'all. I just saw all this down the street. Would it be rude of me just to go over there really quick to see what type of books they had, y'all? That would be a great way to start out this video, right? So you think I should do that? now, so it's the next day, and I wanted to show you what I ended up picking up from Ollie's on yesterday. So I did get one coffee book, and it's this book right here. I had to have it, y'all, because Downton Abbey is one of my favorite shows, okay? I've only watched it once, but I'm due for a rewatch. I don't know if Netflix has taken it off. I think they did though. So I went ahead and picked this up, and I'm going to be using it as a coffee table book because it pretty much matches my aesthetic. Now, I don't have a coffee table. I'm in the market for one. I don't just want to buy just any coffee table. I'm looking for like maybe a vintage one that suits my vibe and kind of not change, but give my space a little something different, something unique. That's what I'm looking for. And so I thought this book would be perfect for that. Plus, I don't plan on reading this book from cover to cover. I'll probably just browse and read like a few pages here and there, but mostly looking at the pictures because this is the official film companion to the series. So it's got pictures of all the characters. What else? The cast, crew. Who was my favorite character? I think my favorite character were the servants, honestly. Well, the cast were good. Like the main characters were, I liked them too, but the servants really had a lot of drama. I think he is my favorite character. I think, what was his name? The butler. I think the butler was my favorite character. I think, but I liked all of them. This was such a good show. And so it was only what, $4.99? Yep, $4.99. It's not in the best condition, It has a few creases, but you can't really tell. So I went ahead and picked that one up for my coffee table. And then because I am on a healthy lifestyle change, I don't say a diet or anything like that, because this is just the way I'm going to eat, hopefully for the rest of my life. I bought plant-based health basics because I want to make sure that I'm giving my body what it needs. It's got like foods that's good for this. So I'm not doing like 100% plant-based. I still eat like meat, but I'm limiting that in my diet, eating mostly fish. I eat some chicken, but I have eliminated pork and beef. I don't even grass-fed beef. That was the only type of beef I was eating before, but I'm not even doing that at this moment. But this looks so good. So I love cookbooks and books about food. And so I went ahead and picked this one up, and this was only $3.99 for this big book with all of this information in it. So let me tell you where I am right now. So I'm still out of town. I'm currently at a park, like in my little small town, and I'm going to get my workout in. We're going to be getting steps in because I still have like the left side of my head to do, like tighten, and I don't want to sweat that out before I get it all done. As you can see, the rest of it is done, but I just got this part to do. So I'm just going to be getting my steps in. There are times like this where I don't want to like do a sweat sesh. I don't have time for a sweat sesh because I will be hitting the road to go back home soon. And so I'm just going to try to get as many steps in as possible because I'll be sitting in this car for about 5 hours driving home. And so while I'm in the car, I'm going to be listening to this right here, the build-up of Tati Richardson. I'm not that far in yet. I'm probably on chapter 4, but I love her characters. Her characters are Ari and Porter. It's about a co-working relationship, and they have instant attraction to each other, which is toxic at a workplace, right? But I'm enjoying hearing the thoughts of the male. I always, or lately, since I've been reading romances, I always enjoy listening to the male's perspective because they're males. Even though there's a female writing the book, so I'm not sure how accurate it is. if you've been in any type of like relationship with a man, we kind of know how they think somewhat by their actions, but it's always good to get a male point of view. Enough of that. I'm gonna go ahead and get out this car and get my steps in. So I had to stop my audiobook to tell you guys how I'm feeling about this book, The Build-Up. So I really like the fact it is relatable because it's a Black romance, and I found myself laughing out loud, and I was like, hold on, is this a rom-com? This is what people talk about when they say they read rom-coms, because I'm really not interested in that type of book, or at least I thought. But this one, because I can see myself in it, I've had some of the same conversations as these two characters are having right now in the book. Is very relatable. So right now they're at a restaurant, not really supposed to be on a date, but he took her to sushi. And so when he asked her, is sushi fine? She, of course, didn't want to offend him. So she was like, oh yeah, it's fine. And I'm really not giving anything away. This is just one section out of the book. And then he told her, hey, you know what? Your poker face is not so great. And so I could relate to that, because there's been times where I've wanted to go to a sushi restaurant and my date didn't like sushi. And so, yeah, thank God that there was other things on the menu, so it all worked out. So, and also Porter, the male main character, he is hilarious. I'm really enjoying his part for some reason. I don't know who the voice actor is, but his voice, y'all, his voice. So 4 chapters in, and I'm really enjoying this book. Okay, so I am in the parking lot about to go to a vintage store. Hopefully they're open to see, just browse to see what they have. But I thought I would stop by my favorite winery. It is like in the country, way in the country. So this will be a little detour, but I think I'm gonna pick up some red wine, because red wine is supposed to be really good for your heart. Of course, I'm not gonna drink a lot of it because I'm on a health journey. Let's talk about The Build-Up by Tati Richardson. So I had to come and make a little update about this book. I have been reading this book for on and off for a few days. However, if you have more time, this book can be probably read in 2-3 days. Maybe quicker if you're a faster reader. But me, I'm not a fast reader at all. I'm on chapter 14. The main female character is Ari, and then we've got Porter. So Ari is her name. I did not know her name in the last clip, but her name is Ari. And Porter, they are working together. They are professional architects. And we finally got our love scene. Our first, well, actually, I'm listening to this book by audio. I hadn't gotten totally into it, but we're about to get there, okay? As soon as I put these headphones back on, I am going to get the tea, okay, on the love scene. But right now, this book is given sexual harassment, borderline sexual harassment, violation at work, okay? Have you checked with your HR, okay? Because it is giving borderline sexual harassment on the part of Porter, okay? Now the two characters they're into each other, okay? They are into each other. However, one minute we shouldn't do this. The next minute, oh, I want you so bad. The next minute, no, let's not do this. I thought we said we were going to do this. The next minute, I want you so bad. It's giving mixed signals. It's giving mixed signals. And it's giving insta-love. It's giving insta-love. However, we're still having a good time with this book. It's still very much entertaining, but it is giving all of those things. And so I think the rating will be affected mostly by the insta-love, because I really do not like insta-love in books. I just think it's unrealistic. It just does not feel real. I know this is fiction, but still, it just has to make sense and feel real to me. Even though it's not, it's fiction, it's got to feel real. And I do believe in instant attraction. People have one-night stands all the time, but it's something about this that is just moving way too fast, especially in a workplace. I think two adults my age would be more careful and more discreet, let's say. It's been some things that's happened that Porter did that just kind of like, what? Did you really do this in front of everybody? Now, they don't know that you were the one that did it, but Porter, I'm gonna need you to slow down. I'm gonna need you to slow down, okay? Because moving too fast, like in real life, is definitely not cute. It's not cute, and it's, to me, is a turn off. It's a turn off. But with all that said, Ari is still attracted to him, and they're still head over heels, even though they have known each other for less than a month. They're talking like they've been working together forever. Yeah, so it's given all of that. And also it's given, Ari's mom is given Whitney Houston's mother in Waiting to Exhale. You know that scene when she encouraged her daughter to see a married man? She was given that to pursue this relationship at work, knowing what happened to her in the past. No, you are not, Mom. No, you are not. But anyway. All right, y'all. So I want to give you a update on The Build Up by Tati Richardson while I'm out here finishing up my walk. So I believe I'm probably on chapter, I don't know, 19 or something like that. I'm kind of losing track because I'm listening to this when I can by audio. It's kind of hard talking about books without spoiling the books, especially like romances. But if you've ever worked in a working relationship and you were attracted to someone, you know you have to be very careful about that. Now, the good thing is that they are like, they're not partners of the law firm, but they both have aspirations of potentially one day becoming a partner. And being that they are both attracted to each other, they have to be very careful about, or be more discreet about their feelings for each other and their romance. Now, some things has happened. She's dealing with some issues that has had an effect on her career and her life, where she had to abruptly change her environment, and that kind of like messed with her head. So when she got this new job at this law firm as a junior associate, I think, not a partner. She went in all in with the, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work because I am running out of storage, y'all. I've been thinking about getting a camera for my channel, but I don't know. I don't think I'm big enough to do that. The cost would outweigh the benefits. But anyway, like I was saying, Ari and Porter, they're really feeling each other, okay? However, there's resistance on the part of Ari because of what she has been through in the past. Porter, not so much, because he comes from money, even though his career seems to be very important to him. I feel like people with money don't have that many worries. I mean, they do, don't get me wrong. But people with money don't have the worries with people who may have good jobs and things like that. But if you lose your job, you know, like, that's kind of like Ari's situation. She's like, just, you know, doesn't come from money, but she has a really good career. So her career really means a lot to her and has provided a good living. Porter, he comes from money. So his worries are really not the same is Ari. So she's a little hesitant because she's trying to move up in her career about continuing on with this relationship. So it's kind of like one-sided, not as far as affection is concerned, because they're, like I said, they're both feeling each other, but there's just resistance on Ari's part because of what I just said about that. So, you know, there's been some spice in the scene. And when I tell you, okay, I think, you know, I don't read romances. You guys know I really don't read romances like that. But out of the romances that I have read, oh my God, her love scene, y'all, okay, I felt like I was listening to porno. Okay, it was very, very descriptive, okay? Like, yeah. So I'm not a prude or anything like that by any means, but sometimes I feel like you have to be careful about the things that you're listening to. So I've just finished Tati Richardson's The Build Up, and I want to tell you my full thoughts and impressions about this book. She's actually a new author. I did not know that until I finished the book today and just did some research, because I kind of went into this book kind of blind. And so let me just give you a rundown of the premise again. So this follows Ari and Porter. They're Black professional architects. Ari has just gotten hired at Porter's firm, and this firm is relatively a small firm. Ari is hired in as the only woman at the firm, and apparently this firm has a bad reputation of keeping women. So she's hired or walked into a workplace full of men. So Porter has been on his job for 15 years, and Ari has been working as an architect for some time too. But she's hired in as a junior associate. Now she does come into this new job with some baggage from her old job that nobody is aware of. So right off the bat, Porter and Ari are put on the same project, which is this big football stadium that is being designed by their architectural firm that they work at. And so Ari has a lot of experience, being that she is a former employee of this big name architect firm. And so she is put with Porter for them to, you know, create a design. When they first meet, y'all, it takes off, okay? There's instant attraction between Ari and Porter. And then you just follow them as they navigate their working relationship with their professional working relationship with falling from each other, and how that all works out. Now, some things that I liked about this book is that it has a lot of representation in this book. It's Black love, and it definitely felt like Black love. You definitely got the cultural references, the natural hair. The two went to HBCU, so there's name dropping. They both went to Hampton University, which is my alma mater's rivalry school. So I like that. And also this is supposed to be about two people in their 40s, because dates are mentioned when they graduated from college, which is in line when I graduated college. So they're actually my age. And also Ari is a plus size woman. So I thought that was great too, to have the female main character be plus size, because I don't think authors do that a lot. I don't know. Now, you should know that I'm very picky when it comes to reading books, okay? I don't know if you could tell, but I'm a very picky reader. I pick up on pretty much everything. So now I'm going to talk about what I liked about the book and what I didn't like about the book, or what could have been done better. So I like that this surprisingly was a romantic comedy, a rom-com, which I did not realize until I had went into the book. I think so. It came off as a rom-com to me, and it had me laughing out loud. So with that being said, it was very, very entertaining. What I didn't like about the book is that the characters, being that they were exactly supposed to be my age, did not come off as characters that were in their mid to late 40s. The characters, even the female main character, came off a bit childish, and that's reflected in the dialogue. And also the friends of Ari and Porter were very immature, reflected in the dialogue. So that was kind of like a turnoff. It really was a turnoff. It read more like they were in their 20s, to be honest with you. So that's one thing that I did not like about the book. I didn't like that it was insta love. It came off insta love. I know this happens in real life, but I felt like the two characters, even though they were in their own heads, okay, we were just listening to their thoughts, inner thoughts in their own head. It played out in the book too pretty early on, right? I'm not a fan of insta love. I'm just not a fan of insta love. I felt like the characters, being that they were in their 40s, would have handled that attraction or a professional relationship a little bit more. I was surprised that the book was named The Build-Up. Later I find out why she titled it The Build-Up, but I was thinking that their working relationship was going to build up into a romance. That is what I went into the book expecting, and it did not give that at all. It did, in some parts of the book, on the side of Porter, give a little sexual harassment because of how he was feeling about Ari and how she was just, she had mixed feelings because she came into the job bringing baggage from her old job that nobody really knew about, right off the bat. They did not know what she was bringing into this new job. She was bringing in some experiences that she had in the past, and it was like one minute she was like into it, the next minute she was pulling out, back and forth, back and forth. So it was kind of like some miscommunication going on in the book too. I didn't like that. So all in all, I gave this book a 3. I want to say a 3-star because of those things. The insta love, the characters not reflecting what they were written to be, and mainly because I felt like the author intentionally made the characters to be in their 40s. That wasn't carried out. I feel like that was maybe just written in, I don't know, for representation, for the sake of representation. Telling, not showing, because it did not show up in the dialogue as two mature characters. It was very immature on the part of the characters. Ari, the female main character, and both of their friends. That it was kind of cringy. Like it just wasn't believable. And I didn't believe in the romance. At the end of the day, I didn't really believe in the romance. The romance, it felt just like I was just reading a book about these two people that had feelings. I never connected with their romance at all. The spice was spicing, okay? Super duper spicy. It's a lot of spice in this book. And if you like spice in your romances, you are gonna love this book. I don't mind a little spice, a little innuendo, right? Like closed doors, or maybe even open doors, but just done in a seductive type way that's not, explicit or super descriptive. You know what I mean? This is very D word, P word, that type of spice. So if you don't like that language, which I can't say that, I'm a fan of it either, you're not gonna like this book because the D's and the P's run rampant in this book, okay? However, I do recommend the book because it was a good time reading the book. It just, did not, a lot of parts of it didn't make any sense as far as like who the characters were supposed to be. But I've already secured a copy of her second book. which I will put right here on Libby. I don't know when I'm going to read that book, but because, you know, it wasn't a bad book, it was very entertaining, I'm willing to give her another chance because this was her debut novel. Y'all, so those are my thoughts about this book. Let me know if you've read the book and what your feelings were on the book. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. I do see you and I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and be blessed. Bye.